Today is July 5th, 2022, and things are definitely growing well. Can't really walk down this aisle very well, but my corn is definitely taller than me, and it's starting to send up little tassels. I have nasturtiums growing underneath, which are doing really well, I think, because they're in the shade. I have spaghetti squash that I planted under here. This is roselle that I actually thought I killed earlier in the year, but it's bouncing back. All my peas are starting to get a little, it's getting too warm for them, so I'm just gonna leave them and then pick them and shell them. I found a cucamelon plant as a voluntary plant, and none of my other cucamelons grew this year, so I have one little plant. This lettuce is holding up pretty well, and I think because it's in the shade, it's doing good. I have other lettuce that's just folded and not very good at the moment. Got my celery. Just looking wonderful. It's like a professional did it. Super proud of this stuff. I gotta put something, I think I'm gonna start some basils and put those in that bed. It's kind of my herb area. Somehow or another I got ground cherries growing everywhere. But underneath the ground cherries, there's some rosemary. The strawberries stopped producing a while ago. They're sending off runners like crazy. As you can see, they're going down all the aisles. I have tomatoes like crazy. It is going to be an awesome year for tomatoes. My tomatoes never do so great, and I think it's because I've always planted them in the same like long row down the whole length of the garden. And this year I wanted to switch it up. Figured give that soil a break and do it over here instead. And I think it's definitely appreciating it. The little cucumber's growing. Harvested a few pickles so far, and like every day you look underneath and you got a little surprise. Oh my goodness. I just picked two off of here yesterday. These were not here. Peppers also growing really well. I think these are the Inferno. It was a sign somewhere. Green beans. I was worried about the green beans at the beginning because they weren't doing very well, and the bugs kept eating holes in them, and they really struggled, but they're starting to actually start to set fruit. I ripped up all my cabbages in this bed over the weekend because they had so much damage on them. They're kind of like that. I'm letting that one go for now, but and this one, I'll probably pull this. Oh, look at all the slugs. Gross. I'm gonna pull it and see what I get off of it. My zucchinis are actually growing. I've been trying to be really diligent in getting all of the squash bugs and any pests that I see on them off. Really love to get some zucchinis this year because last year we did not. The beets are doing really good. I'm gonna set that bugger down. It's my first time growing a Napa cabbage, and other than all the pest damage, I guess it did okay. I'll see if I can salvage any of that, but it'll probably go to the chickens. They'll appreciate it. I pulled the first row of garlic here. It's empty. That was all like brown, falling over. It definitely was ready to pull. These other two varieties still have quite a bit of time, especially this last one, which I think it's going to be just massive bulbs. My potatoes. I planted the first, like up front here first, and then slightly later in the season I planted these back here, so they're just a little behind, but I think I'm gonna still have time to rip all these out, hopefully, and start another set. Got some volunteer calendula back here. What is... Oh, it's a very pretty weed. Oh my god. Look at those. They're red. You can't really see them through here. I'll run around to the other side. Look at all these tomatoes. Look at that. First reddish tomatoes of the year. Oh, that's so exciting. And there are so many tomatoes on these things. Actually, I bought a lot of these from a local greenhouse. And a lot it's turning yellow. And they are doing great. All my lettuce all started to bolt. I ended up giving quite a bit of it to my neighbors before it started doing this, so at least I got to share a little bit of it. My melons, melon trellis. I'm really excited about this trellis because I've tried to grow melons up a trellis like 3 years now. And this is the best they've looked. They always get eaten by bugs. So I am hopeful this year. Got a little flower hidden under here. Got some more peppers. And beets. Tried to throw in beets wherever there's some blank space. I'm gonna pull up some of these. These are obviously not doing very well. But, you know, chickens absolutely love cabbage and brassicas, so they will have a nice little treat. My kale, I can get a few pieces off this for dinner tonight. I got a squash from the community garden that I'm gonna fry up with it. And some more pepper plants. And some beets. These onions are just looking awesome. These ones are always wild and crazy. Some more onions. Asparagus. And look at these babies. These are leek flowers. And I had a bee in here. Like, they're always covered in bees. I don't know why one's purple and one's white. Maybe two different variety of leeks, but they are beautiful. And some sunflowers. And then this patch was a strawberry patch that I just started this year. I got a few watermelons and melons that are growing back here. Bought some cucumber plants that were on clearance because they looked really pathetic, but they might hold on. And some zucchini plants. Let's go look at the pond real quick. I love the way this looks. Just love it. More melons. And just noticed this. I don't know if I planted this or not. I might have. Might just be a volunteer from last year. Tried to grow a big patch of sunflowers back here. It's not the sunniest spot in the garden, but it seems to be doing okay, considering. And I see something super exciting. What is it? Oh, it's gonna be so pretty. I love it before they open up. These are some sort of squash or gourd. They might be bottle gourds. Yeah, things are looking good. For the beginning of July, I'd say things are really, really far along. We've been getting raspberries. There's a big one. More rhubarb I planted this year. Some dahlias. Worm. This last weekend, over the 4th, I also finished up my greenhouse. Finished up staining a little bit. Still have a little bit of that left to do, but for the most part, everything's stained. Oh, I got these beautiful flowers. Love them. And we got all the dirt in the beds. Everything's planted. Ginger's still growing really slow, but I'm seeing a little bit more green stuff popping up. And I bought some like clearance pepper plants and tomatoes, cucumbers, just to give it a try, see how it goes. Larry put the gravel down in here, which makes it look really nice and clean. And then this will actually go up on the shelves eventually, but I'm not quite done with the shelf. And that's all my garlic from the one row I harvested the other day. Yeah, it's looking good.